Hey, this is Kendra. Okay, looks like you've got that all working. You mentioned an issue with the elbow joint. Let's take a closer look. Um, so it's functioning. I guess it's just more a question of the look you're achieving. Doesn't seem to be changing too much. So I'm just going to remove this animation. I just hold shift and then click and drag and delete. And that'll delete any wrist animation. Or I should say elbow animation, sorry. So what I can do is, Shift E to set a keyframe, and maybe between here and here, maybe it straightens out a little bit. Let's turn auto keyframe on so that automatically keyframes there. And then maybe as it rotates back, it can kind of do what the opposite of what the elbow is doing. And maybe it's straightening out as it goes forward. And then you can have it like swing forward a little bit if you want. It's probably too quick. Nope, that is too quick. Might be easier to see from the side. So it can straighten out as it's going forward, and then just before it starts going back, you can kind of have it. Swing forward a bit. I'm not loving that, but you kind of get the idea. Another sort of approach is to steal the animation from the shoulder and then offset it. So if I take this and just double click and then copy and then try to put that on here and then paste, not that much offset, but let's say a little bit. Oh, that kind of broke it. Doesn't like that. Okay. I guess it would just be, that's a bit complicated. Maybe it's just a rotate Z. That you would want. Yeah, let's just try that. We can just try, say, going here and copying the rotate Z in there, and then paste it here and see what we get. Bit much. It's kind of backwards. Yeah, this is maybe not a simpler approach, because you'd probably have to sort of invert this by selecting it, R for scale, shift middle mouse drag, and I just made that the opposite. Well, that didn't do much. Or it could be that instead of making it the opposite, we just need to move the whole curve up. Let's look at two side by side. Right view. I'm just holding shift middle mouse drag and getting that whole curve Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that's actually looking a little bit better. So, and then you can kind of offset it so that this happens a little later. So I'm just going to go like 2, 3, maybe not that many, 3 or 4. You see that? Actually, that turned out not too bad. Let me just show that again on the opposite one because that was a little confusing. So let's see what's on here right now. Yeah, not that much. I'll delete what's on there now. And let's look at this. Okay. So let's grab the Z rotate of that. So copy. Well, let's get to that first frame of it. Right mouse click, copy here from the channel box, and then let's select the elbow and then paste. But it's too far backwards, so I'm showing 2 side by side. We had the left view, I think. And I'll go to the graph editor and I'll select this whole curve, W for move, shift middle mouse drag, and just rotate until that's kind of hooded forward to just move the whole animation curve up. And let's see where we are so far. Whoops. Try again. Okay, and that's starting to look okay, but then let's offset this by a few frames. Let's say 1, 2, 3, I think something like that. And let's watch that now. Could probably be offset by another 1 or 2. Yeah, it's kind of a nicer movement. And in fact, you can do that again with the wrist if you want. It might be a bit much. It might make the arm look a little sort of floppy in a way, like kind of I'll take these out. I can take this and then again paste that here. And then again offset it a little bit. 1, 2. See, that kind of gives the wrist a little bit of motion as well. Too much can be a bad thing. It just, you know, you don't want it to be like overly kind of smooth. He's a, you know, cowboy, so yeah, that can give you an idea of an approach to easy way rather than having to set each keyframe to kind of add some elbow and wrist animation. Okay, this is Kobe. I'll just jump ahead here. Yeah, it's looking good. I think this is good. I mean, you can always add more to the walk. There's something a little... So he's got a lot of hip rotation, and it's good to have some, but you might... I just wanted to show you a way you can kind of, if you want to tone it down a little bit. I'm just going to get the graph editor in here. And I'll hit the up arrow because I just have the shape node selected, and I'll select the rotate Y. Select these keyframes, R for scale, get my mouse right in the middle here, shift middle mouse drag to shrink this down. And let's see if that plays back now. And you should see it's more subtle now. So that's just one approach. If you and you could do the opposite. You could scale it up if you wanted to exaggerate the motion of something like a rotate. Anything else we want to add to this? Yeah, I mean you could add like elbow and wrist movement, like I did on the last one. You could add some sort of a little bit of like side to side motion with each step too, if you wanted to keep going on this. But hey, you've got the basics working, so that's good. Okay, this is Jeffer. Yeah, it's looking good. It doesn't seem like you've got any problems. Seems to be working well. You could always add little bits of movement to the animation, like I mentioned on the other ones, some little side-to-side movement or elbow or wrist movement, those kinds of things. But yeah, other than that, this is looking good. Looks like you've got it working well. It does seem, now that I'm looking at it again, I thought maybe you pointed this. I feel like maybe we went over this before, but there's something happening to this when he's flipping around here, where it kind of expands in a strange way. I think what I do, I've got my advanced skeleton tools here. Is that going to reset him? Yeah. So reset his pose. And you can see you've got these extra things in the history here, which are probably messing it up. So I would delete history on that, edit, delete by type, history, and then using the advanced skeleton 5 tools, if I go down to, with this selected, add the deform joints to the selection, and then go to smooth bind options and bind. That should fix that. I'm just going to close this here. See what happens when he flips around. Yeah, so it's no longer expanding his chest. I'll save this and post it to the discussion so you can have a copy of that as well. You can find out how to install these on the Advanced Skeleton site if you don't already have those installed. This is Princeton. Just jump ahead here. Okay. Yeah, again, it looks like you've got all the basic animation working here. And if you wanted to enhance it by adding more elbow or wrist animation, or adding some side-to-side movement on the hips, or adding a little bit of rotation that way or this way, that could enhance it. But yeah, overall you've got all the basic movement working, so that's good.